Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome along to the Championship podcast to all you Championship fans around the world and all the Championship fans around the UK. This afternoon brings you a lot to talk about from the Championship this afternoon from four teams in the FA Cup, including the ones who I've put in the description below: Sheffield United, Burnley, Sunderland, and Leeds. So we're going to be talking about basically quite a lot this afternoon, but might take a bit short if that makes sense. So, first team we're going to be talking about is obviously Leeds United, who have been one FA win in 1972. So, pretty much it's the only team, that's the only time they have won. In 1972, when they defeated Arsenal 1-0 in the final. But we're going to talk about Leeds in more depth now before we talk about every other team, what we've got here. So, Leeds United founded in 1919 and have had a varied history in the FA Cup. Although they've been one of the more successful clubs in English football, they have not won the FA Cup as often as their league achievements might suggest. Their only win, obviously in 1972, when they defeated Arsenal in the final 1-0, like I said. Leeds have reached the finals on two occasions, though, in 1965 and 1973, but lost to Liverpool and Sunderland, respectively. So, Leeds United obviously started the other night against Harrogate Town with this lineup. So, Caldaro, Skimmett, Gulavogi, Strujic, Byram, Ampadu, Rothwell, Ganotto, Solomon, Ramazzini, and Joseph up front. So, I watched this game the other night, Leeds United versus Harrogate, after the Sunderland game. Obviously, Sunderland went in extra time, so we'll kind of skip between the two channels. But I thought Leeds' game was quite a quiet game. But Leeds had quite a lot of the possession, if that makes sense as well. So, Caldaro for me. I thought he was quite good in goal. To be honest, he made a few saves against Harrogate Town. Harrogate Town was all over Leeds' second half. Couldn't get out of their own half, Leeds in the second half, except from obviously a Ramazzini goal in the 59th minute, which made them 1-0 winners finally at full time. But Caldaro, he had lots of saves to make, absolutely fantastic in goal against Leeds. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 for me as player rating. Skimmett, thought Skimmett played quite well at right back. Obviously coming in for obviously Firpo, who normally plays at right back normally. But I thought he had a really, really good game. Skimmett. I thought quite a lot of the players had a good game for Leeds. Looking at one player as well, Ampadu, I thought he had a good game as well against Harrogate. But Skimmett for me, really good at right back, like I mentioned before. Obviously, a great player for Leeds, and he's got a great future at Leeds as well. He's only a young lad, Skimmett, as well. So yeah, I'm going to give Skimmett 7.5 out of 10. Going on to the next one, Gulavogi. I thought Gulavogi had quite a good game against Harrogate Town as well, considering he got a yellow card. But other than that, all players make mistakes, all players get carded. It's life. But, he had a good game. Bit like a Chris Methven for Sunderland. I think he's a really good player, Gulavogi. Seen in another FA Cup games as well in the past, I thought he played quite well against Harrogate Town. For me, I'm going to give him a 9. I thought he played quite well on Saturday evening. Strujic, I thought Strujic had a really good game, as always. Played quite well in the Championship this season and all, had quite a lot of minutes in the Championship at centre-back. Obviously came in for this cup game as well against Harrogate. Strujic, I thought he played really, really well. Nothing much to say bad about him, but obviously he came off to give some of the young lads some minutes. Daniel James came on, Elia Groove came on, Tanaka came on, Rodon came on. So the likes of them all need kind of minutes. But I thought he would have brought on Woba for a bit as well, because we looking at Maximilian Woba. He only 19 or 20 years of age. I can't remember the age, how old he is, but he's quite a youngster for Leeds going through the ranks. And to be honest, I thought it would have some game time against Harrogate. But unfortunately he didn't. So Strujic for me, gets a 8.5. Byram, I thought Byram had a good game for Leeds as well. I thought Byram played really well. A lot of the possession he had at left back, causing Harrogate's right mid a problem. I'm glad we're out the FA Cup, to be honest. The main priority is getting promoted to the Premiership. Yeah, that's exactly right. For Sunderland, Kev, exactly right, 100%. Getting promoted is the main priorities here for Reggie Scabrice, obviously. To be honest, I didn't want to win the cup either because obviously it put more pressure on the players and put more pressure on fixtures. So Byram, I thought Byram had a good game, given an 8.5 out of 10 as well. Ampadu, I thought he was quite hit and miss, to be honest. I thought he was quite quiet, but I thought he was quite good as well at times. Had some good spells in play. Ampadu, I'm going to give him a 7. Rothwell, thought Rothwell played really well for Leeds as well, until he had to come off to replace, I think it was Daniel James at centre mid. Thought he played quite well, Rothwell. So yeah, for me, give him an 8 out of 10. Gnotto, thought Gnotto played well. Gnotto always played really good football for Leeds under Farke, until Tanaka had to come on for Leeds United to replace Gnotto. It was second half he came on, but Gnotto has a really good game for Leeds. I'm going to give him an 8. Solomon, thought Solomon had a good game as well, in the centre of the attacking midfield, behind the striker Matt Joseph. Thought Solomon had a good game. I'm going to give him a 7.5. Ramazzini, obviously he got the goal. Thought he was my man of the match on Saturday. I thought he created a lot of problems for Leeds United down the left-hand side, causing Harrogate a lot of problems. So for me, Ramazzini gets a 9 out of 10. And Joseph up front, he gets what he created a lot of problems as well for Leeds. Thought Leeds could have been 2 or 3 up before half time with him, but hitting quite a few over the bar, hitting one side netting, also hitting a few at the goalkeeper as well. But other than that, yeah, I'm going to give him. What can I give last Joseph? I give Joseph an 8. Or Joseph played well as well on Saturday against Harrogate. Obviously, the subs who came on, Firpo, Rodon, James, Tanaka and Groove. I thought they had quite a good part to play as well in that game for Leeds United under Farke. Thought Firpo played a good game when he came on for Skimmett. I think it was one of the centre-backs, Byron or Strujic, I think it was. Strujic, I think, came off for Firpo, but Firpo had a good game second half. For he put a lot of pressure on Harrogate. But yeah, Firpo, 8 out of 10. Rodon, I'm going to give 8 out of 10 as well. Daniel James, 7. Tanaka, a 7. And Groove, I'm going to give a 7 as well. Next, we will be talking about Sheffield United. Them were 4 times FA Cup winners back in the day. Obviously coming in 1899, 1902, 1915 and 1925. So Sheffield United, founded in 1889, have won the FA Cup 4 times. Their victories came in 1899, 1902, 1915, and the most recent one, 1925, over 100 years ago. The club is historically considered one of the strongest teams in early FA Cup history. In their 1915 triumph was particularly significant as it was one of the final editions of the competition before World War One interrupted with a football calendar. So that's an interesting fact as well. So Sheffield United played Cardiff the other night on Thursday. Lineup was Adam Davis in goal, Gilchrist, Baptiste, Norton Davis, Sam McCollum, Harrison, Burrows, Blacker, Brooks, Marsh, Brewster and O'Neill up front. On the bench for Sheffield United was Jack Robinson, Owen Hampson, Sam Cochran, Gustavo Harmer, Callum O'Hare, and Thomas Hodsich, Luke Faxon, Harry Boyes and Sam Ashton was on the bench as well. Again, sort from goalkeeper to striker, player ratings coming out again for this one. Looking at Sheffield, Aaron Davies created some great saves in the second half. That one when Cardiff could have went 2-0 up before the end of the game, he saved that one quite well. Obviously, he came up from the corner as well before the end. Could have nearly scored a winner. Sheffield United that game as well. Played quite well football. Aaron Davies that evening as well. But for me, Adam Davies for obviously conceding that goal against Cardiff City, I'll give him a 6. Gilchrist had a good game against Sheffield Cardiff. Obviously had to come off to replace, I think it was Cochrane at right wing back, I think it was, or right back when Gilchrist came off. But Gilchrist had a good game. Other than that, one error only made. Other than that, I thought he played quite brightly and quite sparkly. So Gilchrist, I'm going to give him a 7. Baptiste, a 6. Davies, I'm going to give him a 6. McCallum, I'll give him a 7. Harrison Burrows, a 7. Blocker, I'm going to give Blacker a 6. Brooks, a 6. Louis Marsh, a 7. Ryan Brewster, a 7. Orney, a 7 as well. Yeah. So, looking at that, I thought Sheffield United created some quite great chances in that game against Cardiff on Thursday evening. But yeah, moving on now to obviously Burnley and Sunderland, which are the last two to talk about. I know the stream ain't too long. I'm not waffling on too long, but got quite a lot to get through still, but only about 15-20 minutes more if you're in my gob. So Sunderland versus Stoke. Simon Moore was in goal for that game. Trey Newman at right back. Luke O'Neill and Leo Yelde at centre back. Adri Alessi at left back. Mayenda at right mid. Dan Neil at centre mid with Harrison Jones. Elshish out on the left. And Rigg and Connolly played up front. For me, Simon Moore, since he's come in straight away against Preston, I thought he was crap in the FA Cup. Not FA Cup, Carabao Cup. Get all these cups mixed up. Carabao Cup against Preston, I thought he was quite bad against them. Obviously losing 2-0 at home. Away from home when Preston won 2-0 against us. But Saturday, we looked a totally different team. Obviously, what we have been playing at home recently. We haven't been switching the burners on to try and tackle players that good. We haven't been doing anything like that. But Reggie Caprice says he wants to continue this cup run, but obviously we're out of the cup now. Now we can focus on this league and trying to get out of this league and trying to get into the Premier League. But Simon Moore came in against Stoke on Saturday to replace Anthony Patterson. I thought Moore had a good game Saturday this time. I thought he created a few good saves. For me, Simon Moore gets a 6. Trey Hume, I thought he had a good game at right back. Trey Hume, I'm going to give him a 7. O'Neill, I'll give him a 7. Leo Yelde, I'll give him a 6.5. Adji Alessi, I'll give him a 6 until he went off. Obviously, it would have been higher, but he went off in around the 60th minute or something like that. And got replaced by Zach Johnson, obviously at centre back. But he came on as a left back for obviously Alessi. Eliza Mayenda, again, quite quiet. Obviously, this problem is for Mayenda, for me, it's the shooting what lets him down, but the passing, it's absolutely great. The passing rate, the shooting rate's quite bad. Dan Neil, the same, I thought he was quite good on Saturday, bringing the team forward. Harrison Jones, losing a couple of balls in possession, but other than that, I thought he played quite well. It did Elshish I thought he played quite well, actually, at Deloushish. I think, to be honest, between now and January, the end of January, I think Reggie Scabrice's decision is obviously to keep him on Wearside. That's what I think, but it's up to him what he makes of this. If he continues this kind of running games, I've got no problem with keeping him at the club. I thought he played quite well on Saturday against Stoke. Rig, first game back, obviously, since the injury what he had. Thought Rig played quite well. And Aaron Connolly, I thought he looked seriously quiet. Connolly. Obviously, substitutes for Sunderland were Russian, Samid, Alexis Johnson, Ogan Sunny, Bellingham, Cuckoo. Shut up, Alexa. Wilson, Isidore, and Chris Smith were all on the bench on Saturday. Let's start with Milan Alexic. When he came on, I thought Sunderland looked really, really bright. Thought they looked quite well to score, and they did. Alexic came on in the 60th minute, I think it was, and he scored 4 minutes after. So for me, Milan Alexic I think he gets man of the match. But Alexic, when he came on until obviously full time, except for that goal from Stoke when obviously Ennis scored, I thought Sunderland looked brightly with Alexic. I thought Alexic played quite well at the weekend when he came on. Samid, I thought Samed, when he came on, Samed, whatever you want to call him, when he came on Saturday, I thought he played quite well as well. I thought he looked really good and compact on the ball. Russian, again for me, Russian, I think he's one of the players who will depart in January. For me, hasn't got much game time this season under his belt. Obviously, even getting subbed to the cup game, obviously, thought we would have been before Connolly in the ranks, but Connolly comes before Russian in the ranks. Obviously, Trey, Samuel, Organ, Sonny, I thought when he came on as well, I thought he looked quite bright. Obviously, could have scored a winner from a corner kick before, obviously, full time, but obviously it was 1-1 extra time, obviously 2-1, Stoke won. Zach Johnson as well, I thought Zach Johnson played a part at centre-back when Alessi had to come off injured. I thought, for me, Zach Johnson played quite well with 09 in defence. Enzo Lefebvre as well, obviously he came in for Sunderland as well. Obviously I don't know much about him, but player from Roma, apparently he's really good in League One, in the French league, but we'll see how good he is in this Championship division. Let's see if this signing is as good as it is. I think it is as good as it is. What's your thoughts on Enzo Lefebvre, guys? What's your thoughts on him? Put in the comments below when I'm finished with the podcast. But yeah, I haven't got Burnley's up because I can't get this up during the internet running down quite slow, so I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. I might do another one on Thursday or Wednesday about Burnley, as well as obviously with preview for Burnley as well on Friday, so I might as well do that all on Thursday because Burnley were playing on Friday, so I can talk about Burnley in the FA Cup and I can talk about Burnley versus Sunderland preview, and I also might do the Derby game as well. Then we'll be doing a stream next Monday. We'll be coming back, doing a stream on the Thursday for the Saturday game against Plymouth Argyle. Then we'll come back off my little travels because I'm going to Derby away, so I'll do that when I get back. But yeah, safe trip, guys. If you're going down to Burnley or Derby, safe trip to you all if you're going down there, guys. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you all in the next one.